Chosen one, don't scroll. Don't skip this. Read this slowly, because this message is not random. This is not an accident, and this is not for everyone. You might feel like nothing is changing, like you're stuck in the same place. Same problems, same pain, same questions. You pray, but it feels silent. You try, but nothing moves. You stay strong, but inside you're tired. And that's exactly when most people give up. But what if I told you something different? What if I told you that, while you think nothing is happening, God is rewriting your story behind the scenes? Not in noise, not in drama, not in ways you can see, but in silence, in delay, in hidden places you don't even notice. Right now, you think you're waiting on God, but the truth is, God is working on you. You think you're being ignored, but you're actually being prepared. You think your life is paused, but God is editing the script. And the reason you don't see it yet is because the best chapters are always written in private. There is a version of you that you haven't met yet. Stronger, calmer, wiser, more peaceful, and God is slowly moving you towards that version. Step by step, even when you don't understand the steps. Sometimes He removes people, not to hurt you, but to protect you. Sometimes He closes doors, not to punish you, but because what's behind that door would have destroyed the future you prayed for. Sometimes He delays things, not because He forgot, but because you're not ready for what you're asking. You see rejection, God sees redirection. You see loss, God sees alignment. You see endings, God sees edits. Look back at your life for a moment. Be honest. How many things didn't work out that you once begged for? How many people left that you once couldn't imagine losing? How many plans failed that felt like your whole world? At that time, it broke you. You cried. You questioned everything. You felt abandoned. But now you can see it. If that relationship had worked, you would have lost yourself. If that job had happened, you would have been stuck. If that door had opened, you would have settled for less than your destiny. You didn't know it then, but God was already rewriting your story. Here's something most people don't understand. God rarely changes your life in one big moment. He changes it in small, invisible decisions. A conversation you didn't want to have, a delay that frustrated you, a person who disappointed you, a failure that humbled you, a season that felt empty. All of it is part of the rewrite. The problem is, we only respect miracles when they look dramatic. But God's real miracles look like emotional maturity, patience, boundaries, self-respect, healing, discernment, inner peace. And these things don't happen overnight. They happen quietly, while you're busy comparing your life to others, while you're scrolling, while you're doubting yourself, while you're thinking you're behind. God is slowly removing what doesn't belong and aligning what does. Right now, your old life and your new life are overlapping. That's why it feels confusing. You don't fit where you used to, but you're not fully in the new place yet. So you feel disconnected, misunderstood, lonely in rooms full of people, tired of things that used to excite you, uncomfortable with old habits, allergic to fake energy. That's not depression. That's transition. That's the feeling of outgrowing a version of yourself. That's what it feels like when God is rewriting your story. Let me tell you something important. If your life feels uncomfortable right now, it's because you're not meant to stay here. Comfort is not always a blessing. Sometimes comfort is a trap. God will make you uncomfortable before He makes you unstoppable. He will shake your routine. He will challenge your mindset. He will break your attachments. He will test your patience. He will isolate you, not to destroy you, but to rebuild you. You can't carry the old mindset into a new life. You can't bring old habits into a new chapter. You can't stay the same and expect a different future. So God changes you first. Then He changes your situation. This season feels quiet for a reason. No applause, no validation, no recognition, no visible progress. Just you, your thoughts, your prayers, your doubts, your growth. This is where the real work happens. Not on social media, not in public, not in front of people, but in private, in silence, in discipline, in reflection, in letting go, in healing. Most people want the blessing without the process, the result without the refinement, the reward without the transformation. But God doesn't promote people who haven't been prepared. That's why He hides you first. That's why He slows you down. That's why He isolates you. That's why He humbles you. Because when the new chapter starts, you won't just look different. You'll be different. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're just in the editing room. And editing is messy. Things get cut. Scenes get removed. Characters disappear. Timelines change. Plot twists happen. But it's all for a better story. God is not writing a basic life for you. He's writing a meaningful one. A deep one. A powerful one. A story that makes sense later, not now. Right now, you're in the middle of it. So you can't see the whole picture. But one day you'll look back and say, "Now I understand why it had to happen like that. Now I see why those doors closed. Now I know why I had to go through that. Now I'm grateful for what I thought was loss." Here's a truth nobody tells you. Your breakthrough is not coming from outside. It's coming from inside. God is not just changing your environment. He's changing your identity. The way you think, the way you react, the way you love, the way you choose, the way you walk away, the way you trust. He's teaching you how to stay calm under pressure, how to trust without control, how to love without attachment, how to stand alone without fear, how to wait without complaining, because the next level of your life requires a new level of you. You don't need to chase everything anymore. You don't need to prove yourself to everyone. You don't need to beg for attention. You don't need to explain your growth. What's meant for you will find you. What's not will fall away naturally. That's what alignment feels like. Less forcing, more flowing, less anxiety, more clarity, less noise, more peace. When God is rewriting your story, He removes your addiction to chaos. You start craving peace. You start protecting your energy. You start choosing quality over quantity. You start saying no without guilt. You start walking away without anger. That's growth. And let me tell you something deep. Some of your prayers were not answered the way you wanted, because God saw the consequences you couldn't see. You prayed for people. God removed them. You prayed for success. God gave you patience first. You prayed for love. God taught you self-respect. You prayed for clarity. God gave you confusion so you'd learn to trust. Not everything you lose is a loss. Not everything you gain is a blessing. Sometimes God answers by saying, "Not like this, I have something better." Right now, you're being protected from things you think you want, and prepared for things you don't even know you need. That's why this season feels strange. You feel disconnected from your old self, but not fully connected to your future self. You're between chapters. The old story is ending. The new story is loading. And the loading screen feels like nothing is happening. But behind the scenes, everything is changing. You don't see the rewrite because it's internal first. Mindset first. Heart first. Discipline first. Healing first. External success comes later. That's why God hides you before He highlights you. Breaks you before He builds you. Strips you before He dresses you. Humbles you before He elevates you. Because if He gave you everything too early, it would destroy you instead of blessing you. So He edits you first. Then He edits your life. If you're watching this and feeling emotional, feeling seen, feeling understood, feeling like this message is about you, that's not coincidence. That's resonance. That's your spirit recognizing truth. It means you're in a sensitive season, a spiritual season, a transitional season. It means the old version of you is dying, and the new version is being born. Quietly, slowly, silently, God is rewriting your story while you're not looking. And when the new chapter finally starts, people will say, "Wow, you changed. Wow, your life looks different. Wow, you're lucky." But they won't know how many nights you cried, how many times you wanted to quit, how many prayers went unanswered, how many times you had to let go, how many versions of you had to die. They'll only see the result, not the rewrite. And right now, You're still in the middle of it. Not the ending, not the reveal, not the breakthrough yet. You're in the quiet chapter, the chapter that nobody claps for, the chapter that feels slow, the chapter that tests your faith, the chapter that reshapes your soul. But this chapter is necessary, because without this chapter, the next one wouldn't make sense. One day, you will look back at this season and realize it wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The silence wasn't absence, it was protection. The delay wasn't denial, it was alignment. Every tear taught you strength. Every loss taught you value. Every unanswered prayer was shaping your future. You thought God had forgotten you, but He was writing a better story than you imagined. And when your new chapter finally begins, you won't just thank God for the blessings. You'll thank Him for the broken seasons that made you ready.